Leadership Lane, brought to you by REM Times. This is Megha Anthony, the senior editor. So our guest in this episode asked us to walk quite a different path. A path where quite often people are very focused on it and come out very healthy. So here we are at the Jumeirah Kite Beach. So our guest today comes with over 25 years of experience in the facilities management and engineering industry. And he has always believed in inspiring his employees not only inside the office but also outside. So back in 2021, he launched a new initiative called the CEO Challenge. So what is the CEO Challenge? The CEO Challenge is an initiative which actually encourages the employees to take part in a series of fun challenges where they get to challenge their own CEO. So here we are talking to the man himself to talk a little bit more about this initiative with us today. I think many of you have already guessed who he is. He's none other than Stuart Harrison from Emrill Services. Thank you so much, Mr. Stuart, and welcome to Leadership Lane. And firstly, thank you so much for asking us to walk quite a different path today. So, as I said earlier, about the CEO Challenge, I want to know from you, what inspired you to start the CEO Challenge?
Well, I think initially I've always been interested in sports and trying to compete, not at a very high level, but it's good to challenge yourself. And as I get older, I was starting to become more aware of my own health and my own my weight and these kind of things. So I started coming down here, and it's an amazing facility that we've got. We've got a running track, we've got the beach right there, we've got the ocean. So I was coming down here with my son, and he was training to go into the army, and we started trying to get fit and working, and I felt much better in my own health. I know when I'm fit that I feel better. And then I was sitting in the office and I was thinking, well, what about other people? What would encourage people to get involved in fitness? Not so much for any kind of serious competition, but just to improve their own health and get them moving and get their blood flowing. So I was sat chatting with Marika, our head of marketing. And we came up with this idea about a CEO challenge. So I knew that I could run 3 kilometers to the Burj Khalifa, and I knew that I could reasonably easily do it in less than 6 minutes per kilometer. So I threw the challenge out to say, can anybody beat me?
Yeah.
And then we gave people time to train for it. So we gave them a couple of months or so, or 3 months to train. And then we started the program. So every couple of weeks we come down here and we get a bunch of people that have never run before. And I asked them, I say, did you ever do this as a hobby or a sport? And most of them will say no. It just inspired me to start, and so we got together, a few of us, and we started doing some runs, and we built ourselves up to the point that they felt that they could challenge that time.
Right.
And when you get to the bottom, you have to do 25 push-ups and 25 sit-ups as well. So it helps with your muscle definition and things like that as well.
That's quite interesting. But I want to ask you, what was the initial reaction of your employees? And at the same time, how did this challenge kind of benefit the company in the overall?
I think there was a little bit of a surprise. It seemed like a strange thing to do, and even people outside of the company, when I met them, they said, "Hey, I've seen you doing this CEO challenge press release, and it's unusual." So I think it certainly inspired people because. The thing that I like about sports, and I always say this to the guys, is it doesn't matter where you're from, it doesn't matter what passport you hold, or anything like that. It doesn't matter what job title you got or how much you get paid. If you're good at sports, you just have to be good enough.
Yeah. And
so when we run down the track, we're all equal in that sense. And if you're good enough to beat me, then you're good enough, and it doesn't matter. None of those things matter. So I think people took it very positively, and they wanted the opportunity to challenge the CEO at something, because how many times do you get that opportunity to take on a CEO and beat him sometimes?
Yeah.
So it was really positive, and then it also, we all kind of wear the same shirts, and we all run down there as a group, and other people in Emrill see that, and they feel proud to see Emrill representing that, out in a location like this. So it builds that team kind of attitude and that team collective. We're all part of something. We're all wearing the same Emrill logo on our chests, and so it's a great thing to do, to gather everybody together and make it into a real team event.
And what kind of impact has it had on the employees now that it's been more than a year since you've started it?
Well, we've got people that are now, they've taken up kind of sporting stuff and running and press ups and things like that. They've actually taken it up as a hobby. Mm-hmm. I've also got the chance to meet a whole load of people. Emrill's got nearly 10,000 people now, and I've managed to sit and run and train and talk to a whole bunch of people that I might not usually get a chance to talk to in a more relaxed setting. So it's had a great effect, and it's been incredibly successful. So much so that we're doing it even more. We're going to continue doing it. The summer unfortunately stops us doing outside sports because it's too hot to run and will probably make people ill.
Yeah.
But it's become incredibly successful. We've had a huge entry application and a huge engagement, and so we're now thinking of even spreading it out. So I'm talking to other CEOs to see other companies to see if they want to get involved.
You did mention that you're trying to get other CEOs also involved in this. So is that something of a future plan for the CEO Challenge? Where do you see this headed now?
It is very much a future plan. So at the moment I can't name names, but we've got organisations and other CEOs that are interested to join. And between just the people that I've spoken to at the moment, we've got more than 25,000 employees between us.
Wow.
And we're going to throw the challenge out to them. So there's other CEOs that are interested to get involved, and not just running, because that's not everybody's thing. It might be cycling, it might be swimming, it might be playing badminton, it might be any kind of sporting activity where you get the chance to take on your CEO. And it encourages, it'd be great if every CEO in the region would engage with something like that and encourage people to do more sporting activities, even if it's walking, whatever it is, but it inspires people to work on their health, and that's got to be a good thing.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mr. Stuart. But before we sign off, I want to, pose a challenge with you and, see where I fared against the CEO Challenge.
Okay, good. Let's do it.
Okay, before we start, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. And if you do like this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to REM Times. Until next time, this is it from Meghan.